Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Michigan State University College of Osteopathic Medicine's 50th Annual Convocation and White Coat Ceremony. This ceremony honors the class of 2024, which I am proudly a part of. My name is Umar Akel, and I am the current president of our school's Student Government Association. So, before we get started, I do want to ask at this moment for everyone to go ahead and silence their phones, turn off their pagers, turn off their beepers, or anything else that might make sound, and we can go ahead and get started. Thank you. So to kick things off, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the Dean of our college, Dr. Amalfitano.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out. I'm Dr. Andrea Amalfitano. It's my privilege to honor and serve this great college, the Michigan State University College of Osteopathic Medicine, as Dean. I'm also an alumni, so I have some biases that you'll hear trickle through my comments today. 52 years ago, in 1969, Michigan Governor William Milliken signed the legislation creating a state college of osteopathic medicine. This college, which later became the Michigan State University College of Osteopathic Medicine, was the first osteopathic medical school to be established at a public research university, and it stands as a flagship institution in educating outstanding osteopathic physicians for Michigan, the nation, and the world. Today, I am immensely proud to recognize the 296 exceptional individuals who are sitting in front of us here today. They exemplify the best of the spirit, the commitment, and the dedication to service that the citizens of Michigan, through their leaders in our state's legislature, and the osteopathic profession at that time, hoped to cultivate in establishing our college over 5 decades ago. And we celebrate that achievement and your achievements. Today, over 10,000 DOs are licensed in the state of Michigan, and most are our alumni. Class of 2024, we as a college know much about you. You've come a long way, and that's an understatement. Your tireless efforts that brought you, your family, your friends here today, you've overcome obstacles in your career, which as a result, you are now one of 296 COM students, while another almost 7,000 applicants are not. Why? You're an elite group. We know that you have demonstrated a prowess for learning while also maintaining the capacity to pursue your passions, to positively contribute to our society in so many ways. Your pursuit of that passion has confirmed you are not only book smart, but you're also people smart. You are compassionate community leaders who will make an impact on the profession in the years to come. Our college recognizes that these traits, when combined together, provide a powerful foundation for becoming a world-class physician. To help you achieve your goals to be a physician that is second to none, and as a college, we continue to assemble a faculty and staff also committed to that same goal. For example, we have assembled today on this stage leaders from the various departments and units of our college. These marshals of COM represent the thousands of affiliated MSU COM faculty and staff that have all committed to serving you each and every day and providing you the tools and knowledge to reach your ultimate goal. As a symbolic confirmation of their commitment to you, to each one of you, each of our marshals will be placing the ceremonial white coat on each member of our class of 2024 here today. I ask that sometime after today's ceremony, and I ask everybody this, take a look, take a moment and review the administrators, the faculty, and the staff of COM. You can go to our websites and look at the associated links. I think you'll be pretty impressed, and I'm very confident you'll find that they are a faculty and staff that is second to none. Please join me in acknowledging our administrators and faculty present today. turn it back over to.
Thank you to Dr. Amalfitano. So next we will be hearing from Dr. David Best, DO, and the president of the Michigan Osteopathic Association.
Good morning. Thank you to Dean Amalfitano, faculty, staff, and friends for allowing me a few moments to welcome the Michigan State University College of Osteopathic Medicine class of 2024. On behalf of the Michigan Osteopathic Association Board of Trustees, I am honored to congratulate each of you on becoming part of the osteopathic family, the fastest growing segment of healthcare professionals in Michigan and in the United States. As you may already know, the MOA has had a role in establishing MSU-COM in the 1960s. The members of the association saw a need for an osteopathic medical school in Michigan. Over the course of that decade, the MOA lobbied legislators, gathered support, and asserted fees to members to raise money to start what has become the #1 osteopathic school in the country. Much has changed since then in terms of healthcare and medical education, but those osteopathic physicians had a vision of a strong profession and a healthy Michigan that has held true for all these years. I can't imagine these physicians could have envisioned all the changes in healthcare professions since then, but I'm sure they saw the need for well-rounded students with enthusiasm for caring for patients and their communities. Innovations and changes in medical education will continue, and this is especially true due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The challenges your classes face to get to this point are unprecedented. I welcome you to the profession and wish you well in your journey. I remember my white coat ceremony at Des Moines University COM 23 years ago, and I see this as the official start of my medical career. As you begin this portion of your career, know that you belong to the DO family. And that is a relationship that is a strong bond between a diverse group of like-minded people. As president of the MOA, I can assure you that the association will be here for you, and we will continue to advocate on behalf of students, interns, residents, and physicians. Our vision today is no different than it was when the MOA was founded in 1898, one of a strong profession and a healthier people in Michigan. We, however, are only as strong as our members, and all of you today add to the strength of our membership. The association depends on new perspectives and fresh ideas to help us strengthen our support and evolve. I hope you can be engaged. Join the MOA, join the student liaisons, be active in the groups that can help shape healthcare, be involved and stay informed. Thank you for having me here today, and I wish all of you the best of luck and great success in your studies. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Best. So finally, it is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker for today, Dr. Diana Ingracia Miano. So Dr. Diana is a MSU-COM alumni. She is also the class president of class of 2021 and last year's recipient for the Student DO of the Year Award. It's quite the resume, so go ahead and put your hands together for Dr. Miano.
Thank you, Umar. Hey, 2024. Thanks for having me today, and most of all, congratulations. As Umar just mentioned, my name is Diana Ingracia Miano, and I'm a very recent graduate of MSU-COM. I have to say, as honored and humbled as I am to receive the accolades just mentioned, let alone stand before you today, none of this would have been possible without time spent at this very institution with these very educators. And I sincerely mean that. Dr. Amalfitano didn't push any pennies my way for a quote. Truly, though, I feel indebted to MSU-COM. Before medical school, I was naive to the world of medicine. I swapped career paths from lab research to physicianhood, and coming from a non-medical family, I knew very little about the medical school journey, the board exams, the residency trail, etc. To be honest with you, I don't think I could have told you the difference between an optometrist and my destined career path, an ophthalmologist. I just hope my program director doesn't hear about that one. My point in telling you this is because I started this journey, the very position you're in now, with little to nothing to show for in my medical professional repertoire. I had to learn a lot, not just academically, but systematically about the profession. Michigan State University College of Osteopathic Medicine gave me both a foundational kickstart, so to speak, and a support system throughout my 4 years, which allowed me to find myself as a professional and excel in areas I became passionate about. I'm not unique to this story either. The 300 of my classmates, let alone the thousands of physicians who came before us, were in similar positions. This institution is known to take the very motivation, grit, and dedication which ushers aspiring physicians to medical school and station them on a path to success. All of you sitting here today fall within that same context. You've endured the beginnings of an education which, maybe during the heat of it, felt challenging, tiring, and perhaps even unattainable at times. Listen, from experience, I can tell you, no matter how difficult it may seem, you will make it to the other side if each and every day you carry that very tenacity which brought you to the doors of MSUCOM. This road isn't easy, but you were hand-chosen to be here today, and that is a complete honor. Remember this moment when you're headfirst in a book instead of the tailgate down the street, or on your first overnight shift missing a gathering with family or friends. You will make it to the other side, and when you do, you will be extremely proud to call yourself a Spartan DO. Reflecting back, my own white coat ceremony was a bit earlier than yours. It was actually the week after classes started in June. I remember thinking, I don't know who or what is authorizing this white coat to be placed on my shoulders. I totally thought I was squeaking through the cracks. But you're all a bit further along in your studies than I was at this point. By now, no one here has squeaked through, and you all are very deserving of donning these coats today. I think you can understand now, better than I did at my own ceremony, that medicine is a complex field. Not only for the study that's required to understand it, but because of its fluidity. It's forever changing. As students, we rely on our academic institutions to offer us a baseline knowledge, and as you move on through the years, you may find yourselves looking up to the residents, who are beginning to understand the human body's natural patterns and deviations from the textbooks once studied. And so on and so forth, just as the cycle portrays, us residents rely greatly on our attendings, who, if you ask, may also say they have much to learn, as modern technologies and novel pathologies rise with each passing year of their careers. These last 2 years or so have demonstrated just that. We as a profession have been challenged in ways never before imagined. And I don't mean to bring up difficult times, but I will. Everyone in this room has been touched by these trying years, and for you all specifically as aspiring healthcare professionals, it's part of your story. It's impacted your education in indescribable ways, both academically and emotionally. I witnessed the group of physicians and educators behind me leap over Olympic-sized hurdles as they overcame adversity for this college. I remember getting emails at 10, 11 p.m. at night at times because they were working around the clock to make sure the wheels of the school kept turning so we, the students, could carry on through this educational process. They're a very admirable bunch, they really are. And while there's no minimizing how diligently these educators worked, it was difficult to understand how the clinicians, how the frontliners made it through those early months. For those who came before us in this career, they'll likely tell us there was no how-to guide for this pandemic, no typed-out course pack or treatment algorithm to follow. For myself, transitioning from student to resident and witnessing these healthcare workers in action, I was completely amazed. I was amazed by the raw emotion that went into their work and the drive these physicians had to push forward for each and every patient, leaving no individual left to fight illness on their own. Now, I'm certain even before COVID-19, providing the utmost quality of care was a standard. However, what I've surmised is this amplification of emotional connection between providers and patients. There's a stress on fulfilling the absolute best care possible to ensure these patients and their families are taken care of as if they were our own. Because truly, for the first time in a long time in medicine, we're in this particular fight together. My point in sharing this is to highlight what makes a strong physician is larger than acquired knowledge alone. It's having the ability to integrate compassion and emotion along with intelligence in order to facilitate well-rounded care. It's knowing the patient in front of you is also a person with a family, friends, maybe a career, an entire life to continue. This realization isn't easily taught. Typically, it's an innate quality. Such compassion and understanding may be some of the elements which make up one's persona even before starting medical school. 2024, you're sitting in this room today because you too carry these admirable traits. By this point, you've demonstrated a relentless will to aid others. Heck, you've dedicated the rest of your lives to doing just that. And as you progress through the rest of your courses, board exams, and rotations, keep that compassion close at all times. Use it honorably. Learn as you watch your teachers couple both the science and humanity of medicine. Before you know it, you'll find yourself coordinating the two within your own practice. I hate to break it to you, but graduation is even closer than you think. Slightly nerve-wracking, but overall, that's pretty exciting. Remember, you are and will continue to acquire multiple successes along the way as you strive for that finish line. And while, in some contexts, success may be defined as grades, board scores, class rank, and residency match, we learned this year the term success holds another meaning. It's also characterized by the dedication to those we serve, genuineness of care for all we encounter, and overall ambition to carry out your role to the absolute fullest capacity possible. Know you're here today because you hold the potential to do just this as you positively impact the lives of others, just as the docs I mentioned earlier are doing for their patients, and just as the administration here has done for us as students. From this day forward, wear that white polyester proudly and remember what it stands for. Remember each day you put it on that you're in the makings to be one of the greats. One could even go as far as saying that you already are. Again, I want to congratulate you on all that you've accomplished thus far. You should be proud of everything which led you here, but just as importantly, be proud of what's to come. Someday, very soon, you too will be a Spartan physician entering residency and beyond. That in itself is pretty awesome. I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors, and I look forward to seeing you in the hospital soon. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Ingracia Miano, Dr. Best, and student Dr. Arkel. Now, our students will now be presented with their white coat by our faculty marshals, representing the college administration, our departments, and the statewide campus system, governing board members representing more than altogether 4,000 associated clinical and adjunct faculty that make up MSU's COM. Mr. Jody Knoll and Mr. Scott Pohl from MSU's WKAR Radio will be presenting the students today.
Our first faculty marshal is Dr. Debalina Bandupante. Connor McGraw. Alexander Jacob Blunden. Jeffrey Clements. Kristen N. Shepard. Brent A. Smiles. Kate Nicole Ryan Reif. Matthew Paul Shields. Nathan G. Peck. Zachary Clay Short. Benjamin David Telford. Luke L. Tilma. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. William Dunker. Joseph D. Steele. Devin S. Eldred. Jordan Most. Olivia A. Welch. Nicole Ray Ambrosio. Priyanka Sankaran. Sonora Desai. Sahana Bamareddy. Shwetha Ramchandran. Jacob A. Ackerman. Bryce Johnson. Christine N. Buchanan. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Martha A. Fainer. Maria A. Green. Sydney Owl. Sydney A. Hansen. Kelsey A. Koss. Kevin Hughes. Emma Grace Ford. Paige Moreno. Falguni Kulkarni. Hannah R. Kirschman. Claire Elizabeth Spivey. Jesse Lee Langmeyer. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Bernadette Gendernalik. Rachel S. Song. Christian Mascaro. Danny J. Shantz. Jacob T. Lyon. Michael Joseph Wolf. Kaylin J. Keenan. Kirby W. Swan. Hernan Andres Eunice Ott. Samuel Biddle. Brendan M. O'Dowd. Ryan William Conlon. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Shirley A. Harding. David J. Connolly. Logan B. Austin. Samantha Keiko. Ryan Jordan Karen. John Rogers. Manik Singh. Daniel Jacob Honnett. Natalie E. Moore. Liam Patrick Arnold. Melina Nicole Brown. Heather Marie Hoyer. Addie L. Shoemaker.
Our next faculty marshal is Furkan B. Irfan. Zachary T. Yono. Jordan Emery Engclem. Emmett Lee Helsell. Olivia A. Bayless. Catherine Ann Kalina. Sarah Yafufi. Danush Bathala. Kyle Matthew Riley. Monica Palande. Ramya Devayani Arasala. Maher Sabri. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Larissa Kaufman. Neha Paruchuri. Zoe Rose Sobel. Aldo E. Padilla. Chris Franco. Divya Vipul Patel. Katarina Maria Pujitska. Dorothy Ann Galang Kabantan. Bryce Robert Dickman. Ines Eugenio Fernandez. Sarah Campbell. Maria Miglio. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Catherine Kirshen. Emily Ann Ross. Rasik Mustafa. Munaj S. Huck. Hassan A. Shieto. Kathleen A. Bellafour. Catherine Boss Heckathorn. Leonie Denyu. Sarah E. McMaster. Sayed M. Feroz. Tyler Jablonski. Hemal R. Dulakia. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Paul J. Kowalski. Jacob Edward Ross. Mina Wasif. Hussein Khaldoun Alazawi. Heftadine Mashra. Eleni C. Bills. Ashley P. Armstrong. Kelly Rose Dubé. Joshua M. Duran. Haley Marie Katolsky. Noah Fiala. Andrew Dejanay. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Jamie A. Lippert. Drew Victoria Rogers. Alexis Rita Hurley. Megan M. Glaser. Jacob Leo Armstrong. Reagan L. Danebostel. Madi Mahmood. Julian Kane Puga. Nermeen M. Shuaib. Reem Yassin. Umar Akol. Sabah Zafar.
Our next faculty marshal is Dr. Anissa R. Madison. Gianna L. D. Simone. Sholani Tumala. Rena Matthew. Alicia C. Panich Unculdi. Ejlal Samir. Nina Singal. Emily Elizabeth Mateys. Lena M. Bazzi. Brandon Anton. Eugene Alushi. Ali Garada. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Lawrence Prokop. Ebby A. Martin. Anthony M. Pace. Shervin Mershab. Ian Daniel Stewart. Kyle Robert Huber. Samantha Nicole Lacrosse. Kristen Mary Kanja. Sydney L. Davenport. Ivan T. Ayar. Alex M. Caddis. Jenna Marie Sessi. Our next faculty marshal is Dr. Michael D. Riebach. Anthony Lewis Denha. Brianna Marie Sorensen. Kayla Rooker. Megan L. Keene. William K. Slattery. Kimberly Ching. Veronica Ray Carligan. Austin D. Jones. Hunter Joseph Janoyak. Daniel Reebok. Jenny I. Brahimi. Our next faculty marshal is Dr. Carolina B.A. Restini. Carissa K. Yu. Erin Alexa Day. Morgan E. O'Neill. Caitlin Y. Anderson. Brianna A. Cervantes. Jennifer Nicole Lara. Mary Margaret Green. Amanda Jean Patton Cornoyer. Abigail Barbara Rocker. Nicholas Jernigan Sampson. Levi James Snewink. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Katie M. Ruger. Emily Ann Chikilo. Alexa K. Hopt. Tess Bradley. Allison E. Trapp. Molly Breen Bondi. Pooja T. Desai. Mohanad Ahmad. Yasmin Angel and Cooney. Nadine A. Shami. Sue M. Sala. Kholoud M. El-Haj.
Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Mangala Sadasavan. Rena Camille Afram. Deanna Gunter. Maureen Jamil. Jacqueline Doman. Ashley M. Garvin. Allison D. Fly. Samantha N. Akuri. Joanna Elizabeth Henry. Joshua Richardson. Michael Nadaf. Christina N. Ahrens. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. John R. Taylor. Soo-Min Lee. Danielle Nicole Schmidt. Rebecca Jacobs. V. Morgan Ledbetter. Jessica R. Allison. Cole J. Showers. Brooklyn Noel Idelsky. Erica McClelland. Ashley Pratt. Bianca Christina Bedoya. Julia Monique. Somya Nakina. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Howard Sherman Teitelbaum. Cindy Chu. Avery Ann Cheap. Kiara Makaraig. Joel Ryan Victoriano. Emily Lee. Thomas Kwong Young Kim. Krunal Moradia. Timothy T. Park. Puneet Razdan. Ali Cyrus Degani. Samuel J. Srinivasan. Michaela Nicole Vitug. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Deborah B. Wagonar. Zachary Wilson Skelton. Matthew Robert Ammerman. Michaela Elaine Ulmer. Nicholas Robert Whalen. Angelica Ortega. Alekia Vinta. Olivia Ann Fela. Emma Glover. Christina Lisa Ramatovsky. Hussein Hassan Hamoud. Henry N. Peabody IV. Sami Abdulaziz.
Our next faculty marshal, Ms. Sarah J. Whites. Fred Dean Amati. Jimby Paul Kulan Tungson. Scott Feist. Matthew Ryan Shimolewski. Ryan James Matusik. Megan Erin Gatward. Razi Rebecca Block. Abhishek Shastri. Richard D. Lee. Megan Rose Kempa. Zain S. Sheikh. Anthony Nathir Cholak. Jonathan Joseph Chaco. No. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Carol A. Wilkins. Lance Patrick Maroki. Brendan P. Keelan. Ana Luwapo Korlaworley. Nkechi Uzauku. Jordan Alexandria Robinson. Saba S. Waga. Valerie Catherine Benedict. Bhumi Pinakin Patel. Michael Zakovich. Thomas A. Ura. Ephraim David. Danny Elon Turner. Nathan J. Bautista. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. Bruce A. Wolf. Connor Shuri. David Ibrahim. Elise Torres. Nicholas J. Michael. Madison Patras. Henry Alikai. Carrie M. Copico. Madeline Nora Dodson Garrett. Selena Isabella Tiberio. Our next faculty marshal, Dr. W. Britt Zimmerman. Gabriella Nicole Carr. Madeline Bagley. Ugursa Agoli. Mohammed T. Abu Murad. Nicholas Drew Sandercott. Rochelle Shahuri. Shireen Fazat Drek. Omar Suhail Shabundri. Sahil S. Sethi. Manshanth Singh Chug. And Jamil Ayad Haddad.
Guests, faculty, and staff, the MSU COM class of 2024. I ask the class of 2024 to rise. You to raise your right hand and read the Convocation oath, which is located in your program. Read along with me. Ready? I do hereby affirm my loyalty to the profession I am learning and to the Michigan State University College of Osteopathic Medicine. I will be mindful always of my great responsibility to acquire the knowledge and skills to preserve the health and the life of my patients, and to employ only those recognized methods of treatment consistent with good judgment and with my skill and ability. I will be ever vigilant in aiding the general welfare of the community, sustaining its laws and institutions, not engaging in those practices which will in any way bring shame or discredit upon myself or my profession. I will endeavor to work in accord with my colleagues in a spirit of progressive cooperation. I will look with respect and esteem upon all those who are teaching me my art. I will be ever alert to further the application of basic biologic truths to the healing arts and to develop the principles of osteopathy which were first enunciated by Dr. Andrew Taylor Still. To my college, I will be loyal and strive always for its best interests and for the interests of the students who will come after me. In the presence of this gathering, I bind myself to my oath. Thank you. Please be seated. Maybe ask the students to stand one more time and turn around and congratulate your families and friends for all their hard work in getting you here. Thank you. Congratulations, student doctors, and all of your family and friends who have supported you to this point. Thank you to our college staff that have helped with the process of each and every student and the organization of the ceremony today. Thank you very much. Today's an important day in so many ways. As dean, and on behalf of our college, faculty, and staff, I commit that we will continue to fully help you become that best physician or great doctor you desire to be. How are we meeting that goal? One way is by helping you understand that medicine is more than just a science. It is still a medical art. Here at MSU COM, you will continue to learn what the current state of science is in contemporary medicine, both as it relates to not only treating illness, but more importantly, in preserving health. We do this in a manner that also recognizes that those that seek out our expertise as physicians are not simply patients that we will rapidly reduce down to a few key symptoms or demographic metrics so that we can then quickly respond and then move on to the next symptom. That's reductionist thinking, and that's not who we are. We espouse the holistic approach to preserving health and treating illness. We recognize that our patients are not just single symptoms or numbers that need to be corrected and forgotten. We know that a single symptom may be the tip of the iceberg in better understanding of the complete health needs of our patients in their mind, in their body, and in their spirit. By being aware and open to these complexities, we are better able to recognize and then address the health needs of those who seek us out as osteopathic physicians. We also recognize that the patients that seek us are also unique and important, diverse individuals. They have a complexity that is to be recognized, honored, respected, and individuals that have families and friends as well are important members of their greater communities. We recognize as osteopathic physicians that we will likely impact each of these aspects of our patients at every encounter. And we try to be sure to incorporate these realities to, again, maximize the health outcomes our patients seek. By being part of MSU COM, you are taught these holistic approaches to medical care, and these philosophies will make you stand out and recognized as great physicians. It seems to me that this should be self-evident in what a great world-class physician should be. That we do not just reduce our patients down to a single symptom or a number or a finding or a nucleotide, and that we recognize that we're not only impacting patients, but also their families, friends, and greater communities. Well, in my experience, I can tell you that the medical profession has not always embraced these tenets, and in so doing, may be losing the forest for the trees. While osteopathic medicine does not claim exclusivity to the notion that we holistically approach the concerns that our patients bring to us, you can be darn sure at MSU COM, you learn this approach at every point in your education, in every lecture, in every small group session, preceptor, and clerkship experience. As a result, at MSU COM, your education includes learning not only the science of medicine, but also the art of medicine. What's the art of medicine? It's that place where science is yet to provide concrete answers, and very well may never be able to provide concrete answers for some of today's most vexing medical dilemmas in either treating illness or preserving health. Yet you as future physicians will be challenged with these situations every day of your clinical practice and asked to act best you can. Many of us here on this stage can attest to this fact and the uneasiness that comes with not having all the answers. How do we handle this? We continue to empirically learn through the experiences of our mentors, our colleagues, and yes, those patients who have sought us out in the past on how best to navigate as yet uncharted waters of medical practice. We combine these experiences with the scientific knowledge base we possess and also constantly capitalize on our education to holistically approach our patients and therefore providing them the best care possible. This philosophy has not only served us well, it's a progressive notion to healthcare that is being recognized nationally as to its import to today's society. Today, the osteopathic profession is growing rapidly. 1 in 6 doctors are currently a DO in the United States. 1 in 4 graduates of a medical school are graduating from an osteopathic medical school. It's the fastest growing sector of the healthcare profession today. In class of 2024, I'm here to confirm for you that you are now entering not only the best osteopathic medical school, but one of the premier medical schools on the planet. Thank you. With those thoughts, I know you've already endured a lot in the curriculum already. You're semi-seasoned veterans. I really thank you for your professionalism. I sincerely wish you continued success, and go green. Finally, I'll just ask the audience to remain seated while the platform party and faculty marshals and then the students exit. You can meet your student doctor at the concourse level. Again, thank you very much for joining our family today.